Pretty Panties, it's Kendall,
J. Renee,
Joy, and we're back with another episode of The Naked Truth, where we always keep it real. Dear little brown girl, you are not defined by your skin, whether you are as fair as sand or as deep as cocoa. You are beautiful, you are strong, you are smart. You will demand respect when you walk in a room by your graceful beauty and humble heart. Love yourself, little brown girl, because you are worthy.
dear little brown girl, life will not be all that you dreamed it to be, but you can be all that you dreamed to be in Christ. There will be many ups and downs, but more ups than downs. Though you have a pure heart, you will experience pain, heartache, and even be mistreated, which none you deserve, but you cannot let that change your heart. Dream big and experiment fearlessly. Do not grow up too fast. Enjoy life and be free. Love the skin you are in and every imperfection, because they each make you unique.
Dear my little brown girl, know that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and there is no perfect person, especially no perfect skin tone. You were created in uniqueness and most of all love. Without you and your beautiful dark skin, the world is missing out on an extraordinary and missing out on you. So love your beautiful dark skin, because I do.
So what you all just saw was a video of us just speaking to our younger little brown girl selves. Or even us speaking to, we don't have children yet, but just speaking to our little brown girls. One day, if we have little girls, what we would tell our little girls to remember in life.
Right. As many of you know, in our race and in our community today, the black race specifically, we have controversy issues where you have the light skin against the dark skin and the dark skin against the light skin. This is not something that we just woke up to today. This is something that took place over hundreds of years ago. It was a man named Willie Lynch who decided to write a letter of how to make a slave. And he decided that in this letter, he would teach the white man how to turn the darker man or woman against the lighter man or woman. And because of that, we see these issues and these same mentalities and mindsets portrayed in our everyday lives today. And we are here just to let you all know that no matter the skin tone, we are all one race. We are all under one God, and we are all beautiful. There's no reason that one should hate the other or one should feel envious of the other simply because of the skin tone. We are all trying to make it as one, and then when we come together as a unit, we can go further than we ever could alone.
Now, just to give a little snippet, because you know, when we came up with the idea of talking to this little brown girl, the video that you had sent us, Dark Girls,
right,
that is on YouTube and Netflix and Hulu. Please go watch that, because that's a good video.
Very, very good video.
And it just broke my heart to see this little, chocolate baby. Like, when the lady asked her, like, which little girl is smarter, she pointed to the lighter girl.
Right.
And she was like, well, which little girl is dumb? And she pointed to the black girl. She was like, why is the black girl dumb? She was like, because she dark. Or because she's black, or something like that. And it just, like that was sad,
right.
Because obviously, not to say she's been taught that, but that's what society has showed her.
Right.
And as a parent, I want to teach my child differently. I want you to know whether you are as dark as daddy or you as light as mommy, like anywhere in between, you are fine, and you're beautiful, because I know I didn't grow up like that. Like, the color thing, because I get, I'm a little bit lighter and my mom's even lighter, but my dad is a very dark man, And my mom grew up like, when I was little, I wanted me that little bald-headed chocolate baby. Like, I just wanted you to be a little dark-skinned girl, and I would have just loved that. And, she was like, she's fine, and the way she came out, but my mom just always taught me it is not about color. And a lot of people say I don't understand color, because I'd be like, yeah, I'm brown skin, like I'm dark. But that's just the way I grew up. Like, that whole calling me yellow or red, my mom did not play that at all in our house. Like, you black. You're not light skinned, you're not dark skinned, you just black altogether. And that's just the way I grew up. So I want my child to know the same thing, whatever range of color you are, you black, and you're beautiful, and you're smart, and life is, has no limit for you.
Well, when I was younger, I am the lightest out of my other 3 siblings, and growing up, I didn't realize that I had a real issue with color. My mom would ask me, and at the time, maybe I don't know if they thought it was cute, because I remember them laughing. They say, Jessica, what color are you? And I looked down and I said, I'm white. And they would say, no, you're not, you black. And I would get so upset. No, I'm not black, I'm white. And like, in my mind, I believed I was a white girl. Like, to call me black was somehow offensive, but yet I'm a young girl. So how am I supposed to know that this could be something that offends me, or that I wouldn't want to be like that, especially seeing my other brothers and sisters? I mean, y'all are darker than me, more brown tone, and my mom is too. So I grew up, and for a long time I didn't know what box to mark on my. Anytime we would take those little tests where they ask you your color, I didn't want to mark African American. I always marked other, because I felt like I was other. And somewhere down the line, it was because it was like, well, I know my grandmother's granddad, somebody, he was white, so I'm not black, I'm like a mixed child, you know. And so, like, this is somehow me. But
yeah, it really is. Younger, they used to say that though, like, when you kid, what you mix with? Oh, I'm Indian. Yeah. My great granddaddy is white. No.
And so anytime my mom would put me outside, I remember having to play with my brothers and sisters. I hated being outside for long periods of time because I would get darker. And I hated to see my skin get darker. I wanted to keep it that light skin. So, and she was, no, you got to stay outside with your brothers. And said, no, I don't want to be out here. I'm getting dark. You need to get a little dark. Stay out there. So,
I love it. I be wanting to keep me calm. I want to be.
And it was like, oh my gosh. And like, still to today, I don't like to be in the sun that much, because I don't like to see the different skin tones. Like, my chest is way lighter than everything else, and I don't like it when it's like just straight dark out here on the outside. And
then, lines. I understand that.
And so, but like, as I got older, when I started doing like the whole dating thing, I would only date light skinned men. My first crush was a white boy. Like, and he was in elementary. And then it got to a point in my life, it was like, Jessica, like, what are you really doing? Like, what is this about? Where is this coming from? And on today, I know where it came from. And I won't go into detail about that, but it was something that I picked up from a very young age. And between society and what we see on television, in magazines, and then we didn't have social media, but it was like I took pride in my skin color. And I don't think that I thought I was better than my brothers and sisters. It was just like I didn't want to be anything other than what I saw myself as in the mirror. And so when I actually got a little older and began to say, I got to a point in my life, I was like, well, I'm just going to date whoever. I don't care. And so opened up the dating the dating range to darker men. And it wasn't until you brought up that whole thing about little brown girl that I thought, oh my gosh, like, I'm married to a dark-skinned man. And so it might be a possibility that this child that we might that we'll have on one day
would be black as soot.
It could be. I'm trying to be serious.
I'm serious. It could.
question, and it made me sit back and think, like, Jessica, are you okay with that? And I wasn't really sure of it until we actually had that time where we were, expecting, and I didn't think about, what if it comes out this color, that color? If anything, at that time, I just wanted her to be healthy. It was something that came with knowledge and maturity that drove out that quote-unquote fear of being black, African American, and now it's like I am what I am, and I take pride in it. And so I think it's something that has to be taught and put into young girls, that being this color doesn't make you less beautiful than the other.
That's real.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. And I have a lot of stuff going on with me.
That girl, my other. But that's the case.
That is serious though, because like when we were younger, when you say EOGs, we were what is it? What's the Latino? Whatever the Hispanic, Latino, Mexican race. Not Mexican, but you know what I mean. Hispanic race, like that was marked on our stuff. So I used to I remember in the 3rd grade, I was like, no, I'm black, and my teacher was like, no, no, it's already pre-done. My mama had to come to the school and be like, she's black. Like, what do you mean? And so they were like, well, Miss Curtis, we thought you were of Latino descent. And she was like, what? I'm black. Like, that's, my mom, she's very like, no. And so growing up, me and my brother would tease her like, oh yeah, you Latino, like, mess with her like that. But it was a joke, But that did, nowadays, like, it does, you taking it to offense, like, just because the color of my skin, you assume this or you assume that, just assuming like, just because the color of skin, you can have somebody who's from, Brazil and be as dark as, look like an African descent, but it's just like you assume just because of the color of their skin, And so that's where just, everybody can be kind of ignorant at, because I can say I can even be kind of ignorant to say like, oh, you're this, dang, yo. Oh, you're this or oh, you're that. And so it's just coming of age and learning which route you're going to take. Are you going to take this route and to be open-minded and be open with it, or be kind of closed-minded to the situation? But I think most black couples I see, you got one is lighter complexion, one is darker complexion, and then
very seldom do you have the two same.
I don't see that much, I don't see that much.
I've seen it, but I don't see it a lot.
Yeah, you don't see it a lot. You don't see it a lot. And I know from my personal preference, I love dark men. Like, the darker you are, the better. Like, I want to be with a dark man. That's what I prefer. And so then you create, eventually you create other dark or light children, or in between.
Right.
And so you just have to, I guess, balance it out, because it can't be like that for forever. Like, just the color of your skin is based on how beautiful you are or how smart you are, because that is certainly not true.
I know for me, growing up, my brother's darker than me. And my mother, she didn't do the differences in your skin. Even still to this day, if I'd be like, you're black, son, and she'd be like, all right, you got one more black. That's gonna be your last black. But she was never like that, and she didn't allow anyone else to make differences in us because of our skin tone.
Right.
And I don't know. I do remember growing up, I have a birthmark on one foot, and it covers that entire foot just about. And it is a noticeable color change with my foot. My brother used to be like, "You burnt fry," talking about my foot. And I had actually forgotten that he used to do that. And thinking back on it, when he would, refer to my foot as being a burnt fry, that hurt. Because I felt like this foot is ugly. Something's wrong with this foot. And when people would be like, oh, what happened to your foot? I'd tell them you got burned in a fire or something like that, And even growing up, like guys and stuff like that, I didn't see anything attractive about a dark-skinned man, a dark-skinned guy. boy, whatever. And it was like the lighter you were, it was the better. Because it seemed like if you was light, you had some pretty hair, and that's what I liked. That changed for me when I walked on the campus of Winston-Salem State University. And I saw all shades of men, height, sizes, built, hair. And I was like, dang, I want me somebody black. You know?
Right.
But right now, do I have a skin preference? If I could make my ideal guy skin-wise, he would be darker than me. But, I mean, I like chocolate.
Yeah.
I love chocolate.
Yeah.
I like caramel.
Yeah.
I like dark chocolate. I like chocolate. I like pecan tan. I like it.
Anywhere in between.
There you go. I like
Anywhere
it.
in between.
I mean, one thing that I can say about being an African American, being a part of that race, is that our different shades is what makes us unique.
Right.
Our different shades bring something extra to the table. Because not everybody can say that. Not everybody can say that. And an extra beautiful thing about it is we don't have to be mixed.
No, you don't.
We can be fully African American,
Right.
and have different shades.
Exactly. That's what I like too. Because I can honestly say, like, you know, like you say, color played a part in your childhood, but being the child, I guess, with having like one, you know, my mom is light and my dad is really dark. I used to get teased about how dark my daddy was, and then cause my brother's not super dark, but he's like a brown type of like deep color, so we don't even look like we're siblings, you know. And so they used to tease me, and then everybody said, "Oh, you look like your mom." But my mom, she's like, if you take her color away, she looks like her dad. Everybody can't see past my color and his color to see that we look alike. Because if we get a picture up of my sister and me, you can see we look just alike.
Yeah.
And my daddy and my sister are identical twins. Like, they look just alike. So when people say, "Oh, you look just like your sister," but then you say I didn't look like my dad, and you can tell undeniably that's his daughter, you know? And so it came into play where they used to be like, "Oh, is that your stepdad? Is your dad an African?" That's not my stepdaddy, and no, he is not an African. You know, nothing to say wrong with African descent, but that used to make me mad because he is my pride and joy, and you trying to be funny.
Right.
And that used to make me mad as a child, so it used to, you know, really just bother me. Like, everybody sees color like that, but I never really realized, oh, my dad is dark skinned and my mom's light skinned, and I became this complexion. But it was just, that's how it is, because out of my siblings, I'm the lightest one, but color was never made to be like, well, you the pretty one because you the light one, or, you know, she the pretty one because she the darker one, or, you know, with my brother as well. But I just love the rainbow. Like, I love the rainbow. I have a best friend, and she is dark skinned, and when I mean to tell y'all, she is beautiful to me. Like, I absolutely love looking at her because she's so pretty. And I hate when we would be out and they'd be like, "Oh, you pretty for a dark skinned girl." They would say that to her. And you know, I'm the type of friend I'll be like, "Skirt? What that supposed to mean? She pretty for a dark skinned girl? What is that supposed to say?"
Right.
You know, like, why would that even come out your mouth to somebody? You know, whether you know them or not, that's just rude all the way around. That's just like, you pretty for a fat girl, or you pretty for a tall girl. That's terrible.
Right.
And so that hurt my feelings, because to me, she's beautiful with makeup, without makeup. Like, I just love her skin. And so, you know, I guess it's just all in the way you grow up. So I try not to judge people on the way they see color, but I just grew up as seeing from the lightest to the darkest that you were beautiful.
Right.
So
one of the things that Dr. Martin Luther King said in his I Have a Dream speech is that he wants his kids, and not just his kids, but just us as African American race, to be judged by the content of our character and not by the color of our skins. And because you mentioned in the beginning that it started in slavery, I think us as black people, we have to have a renewing of our mind.
Right.
And we have to transform it and control it and forget what was done, what was said, as far as our color-wise is concerned. You know, moving forward, black is beautiful.
Right. It is.
You know, I can be as light as darn near white and be dumb as I don't know what.
Right.
That's true.
Or I can be as dark as your shirt, my shirt, and just smart as a whip.
Right.
So, you know, when you look at people, granted you do see color, but don't let color define
Amen.
Who they
that
are.
person.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the perfect way to put it.
Right.
Don't let it define them.
Don't let it define them.
That's very true. Subscribe below, leave us a comment, like our video, let us know your thoughts. And the most important thing with this video, pretty pennies, love the skin you're in. You only got one skin, you might as well flaunt it. And remember, the truth is expensive and not everybody's willing to pay.
Bye.